Yo, folks, what's up?
What's up,
Hey,
bro? You
The
good?
twins.
what's happening? What's happening?
Trallavelle.
Trallavelle.
I guess that's the best way to put it out.
Yeah.
So I can't call you the twins.
Trallavelle
Yeah,
twins.
Trallavelle
yeah.
twins, I mean, yeah, it works.
Trallavelle twins.
Yeah,
Oh,
it works.
yeah.
You still got both.
You're dripping, niggas.
Shout out to it.
Yeah, what's up? What's up? How are you doing, man?
Ah, man, we good, bro.
How good? Can't complain.
Welcome to the table, to the black table.
Thank you for having us, man. Thank you for having us.
That's awesome, man. Okay, before further ado, just tell me, how did you come up with a name like this, man? I mean, it's unique.
We actually had a conversation about it just 2 days ago. No?
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, so it actually happened in high school.
High school.
Yeah, somebody actually gave us the name.
Do you have
Some girl code,
Which year
yeah.
was it?
Sure.
I forgot.
I forgot which year that was.
But it's a long time ago.
Who named you? Like,
So-
do you still remember the guy?
No, it was a girl actually. It was Elaine.
Yeah,
Yeah, Elaine.
Where
So
is
she
she?
gave us the last part of the name, but then
She's a manager for Virgin Active, I think.
something,
Now,
she's
yeah,
always been on
yeah.
fashion,
Is it?
fitness and stuff.
Yeah, she's always been a fitness person. Always
So
been.
did the Trallavelle name come because of the music thing? Was it attached to the music or
Yeah.
just you guys?
Oh, it was attached to the
everything?
music, I think, with everything. Because like the last part of the Trallavelle was like ultra male, because I was
Imagine-
light skin,
Oh.
whatever.
and
Right.
and traveling as well. So it's a mixture of names in it,
Oh, is it?
Trallavelle,
Yeah,
Travail as
Travail.
well. you know.
Oh, but that's unique, man.
bro.
Shout
That's
out.
super
Right.
unique. But did she give you the name with like did she write it down? She just called you, then you guys decide we're gonna put a double L here and
Sure, yeah.
Is
Yeah,
it?
Basically, we decided like we're gonna put the double L's and
then
everything like that.
make
Is
it
it?
one thing. Yeah,
That's awesome, man. Can you give me a brief background about you guys? Because I know you as musicians. I don't want to just say musicians as rappers. And how long have you been doing it?
yeah. For the longest time, man. Over a decade. Yeah,
Decade?
Definitely, yeah.
safely over a decade.
That's a long time ago.
That's a long time, yeah. Because we started in, I think like 9 years old actually,
Yeah, we
just like
started when we were
writing,
young.
writing.
9
and then-
years.
And then
Something
like
like that,
recording
yeah.
on the laptop and stuff like that. But we started like officially recording at 16. And then, yeah, basically at 16. And then from there, professionally, we started like, let me say 17, 18 professionally. So yeah, man.
You know, you've been doing it for years, bro. So
Yeah.
how was the relationship between you and your parents? Did they accept it, or you face some challenges or something like that?
You're obviously gonna face some opposition, but as it works out, then you can see, okay, this is something that actually, that's something that it's tangible. You know what
Yes.
I mean? So yeah, I think they got to accept it and actually embrace it
Yeah,
later
yeah.
on. Yeah.
So your professional project, your professional recording, you started it at 18.
Around 18, yeah.
Like first time being on TV kind of thing.
Kind of thing.
For it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, no, that's awesome, man. In terms of where you're originally from and your original background, culture-wise, because I don't see anything. I'm only seeing hip-hop culture. I'm only seeing rap culture.
Yeah.
Are you guys? Okay, can you just tell me? Your
Where you
background?
from?
Are you colours or?
Nah, we actually Pedi, bro, from
Pedi?
Limpopo, yeah.
Nah, man.
Crazy, yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
Eh?
Yeah, we actually
Yeah,
Pedi,
but
yeah,
nah.
you know, from Tanin.
From Sane.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
According to you guys, okay, probably I'm going to start with you. How do you see the industry right now? How do you see yourselves within the industry in the next, let's say, next 3 years? Like, what are your goals? What are you trying to achieve? How do you see yourselves growing and all that?
Basically, I think just to revolutionize the game, especially with the whole yellow roll thing.
Yeah.
So it's actually based on mental health, So I feel like people need to be more aware of their mental health in the game, because I feel like that's something that's been neglected. We focus on all these other aspects, but that is something that has never been, really touched on. But I feel like as it stands now, people are becoming more warmed up to the idea. Yeah, so I feel like from there it's just revolutionizing that.
All right. And your perspective as well. I understand you agreeing to what they were saying.
But yeah, no, yeah, 100%, 100%. I think also just to add on, I feel like we're looking at, basically revolutionizing it and going further with this, you know what I mean? Creating like a new melting pot of like different cultures within the music, you know what I'm saying? But based on the same thing, which is like mental health, you know, but like just the whole melting pot of like mixing like comedy, fashion, art, culture, you know what I mean? Just basically the whole overall culture. So
that's awesome. Okay, just to maybe before I ask other questions, can we go back? Who really agreed to whose idea here? Like, I mean, I understand that you guys were singing from 9 years, but
sure,
who then decided to say, you know what, we gotta do this, bro? Like,
I think it just came naturally.
Yeah, it's crazy actually.
You can't really explain it, bro.
Who influenced it? Okay, if it's not either of you, then who influenced it?
Sure. So, my dad used to play like a lot of music, like rock and roll actually when we were like young. So I used to wake up to like music, you know? And then there was always like a hi-fi at home. So I had a CD. I don't know where I got that CD from, but it was like, I think 50 Cent. Eminem, you know, that type of thing. Yeah. So every time my parents go to work, we'd like listen to that. And like, maybe you could try this out, you know? And then,
which actually goes to show that you're really into the culture. You're not chasing the trend.
100%.
You're really into the culture, because most of the young kids, if you ask them about their background, they'll tell you about the recent guys. They don't talk about the OGs.
Sure.
You know, the real G's, the elders in the game. So have you ever tried any other genre before besides rap?
Yeah, we actually
music.
Yeah, because like even like the latest single. Okay, just let me say our latest single is called Keisha, right? It's more like alternative.
Yeah.
Alternative, but hip hop, but it's more alternative. And then we have a song with this guy Umiano. He does amapiano from the guy who made Lodge and you know all this Mapuris and stuff. We've tapped into that. We tapped into like more Afro pop, rock and roll,
jazz sort of type of vibe as well. You know, just
so multi-diverse. It's basically about the music first and foremost. You know, it's just that I feel like hip hop is what you're more inclined to. But I think over and above, it's literally just about music, because I can end up like just making a whole album on rock or a whole album on Afropop, or you know what I mean. So
I see you're actually rocking yellow, and it goes together with your brand. Can you tell us more about the Yellow World campaign?
Sure. Yeah, take it away.
So the Yellow World is basically, it's about how you view the world, right? So if you have like black glasses, you're gonna see the world through those lenses. It's gonna be dark. So if you see the world through yellow, it's gonna be a yellow world, right? And what yellow does to the mind, it brings about happy hormones subconsciously. So that's
some deep stuff. So colors mean 100% to our bodies.
100%. It's also like endorphins. You know what I mean? It's almost like what the sun does to the body.
Yeah, more on type of stuff.
It's like, you know what the sun does to the body, because like there's even this psychologist is like, when it's winter, just always like sleep. I mean, like make sure that the sun comes in, because you usually get moody just because of how the weather is. But if the sun hits you with the vitamin D, which comes with the yellow, with the sun, everything just comes together. It gives like good endorphins.
That's some deep psychological, logical type of stuff, bro. I'm like actually amazed. Have you ever tried to chase maybe a degree or diploma or something like that? In
psychology?
In psychology.
I read about it, because it's very interesting. But I've never actively went to like a school, and you know. But I feel like in my pastime, I just literally read on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that's awesome, man. To our viewers, we are actually excited. We've got Trallavelle in the studio, the Trallavelle Twins. And remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share this video. And also make sure that you follow them on their social media platforms. Okay, tell us about your next project, man. I understand that you've got your recent project, rather. Can you tell us more about it?
Okay, so the project as a whole, or like the single leading up to
single. That's okay, you can start maybe with the project as a whole.
Okay, sure.
Then maybe try to
Break it down. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So basically, our latest project is produced by Fiso Guhle, some amazing producer
from Durban. Yeah,
from Durban. Shout out to him. He works closely with Mama, and you know what I mean. He's almost, I feel like he's more like a taste maker, and he's actually super talented with what he does. So it's based on mental health as well, you know. And we have like a lot of songs where we shout out Germiston and shout out every other different place, because we've been to different places, you know what I mean.
For sure.
And it has, I think, shaped what Trallavelle is, you know what I mean.
Yes.
It shaped what Trallavelle is. So I think the album is mainly focused on mental health, but on a broader perspective, not just, I don't know, not just, but holistically within what you eat, how you move.
Yeah. Lifestyle, basically.
Lifestyle, exactly. How do you really live your life? You know what I mean? From like, because you're Christian, you know what I mean? So it also taps into that. It taps into, you know what I mean, different things.
So you have some collabs on the project.
Yeah, for sure.
You mentioned the producer from Durban.
And Tulani
Zama.
Yeah, he's a pivotal role in it. He's a vocalist on it. So he was a very big part of this project.
Oh yeah, and Jacques Moomin as well. You know, he's a rock star. I think the Shadow Club is actually, I think they like 3 Summer Awards deep.
Yeah.
You know, and best rock stars, and you know what I mean. So we actually collaborated together on that.
And what I love about what you guys do is you have got a very distinct way to communicate when communicating through your music. And would you say there are certain figures that actually that are influencing what you're doing, or it's just something that's just mutual between you two guys?
You know, we didn't really say.
I understand we were still talking about the album, but I thought I should just ask this question before we.
100%.
Yeah.
Not really. Probably, maybe certain sounds. I can't really say a figure. For instance, like there's a time I used to listen to a lot of Corinne Bailey Rae, right? So I feel like that sound, you adopt a certain aspect in a certain sound. I can't say Corinne Bailey Rae made me do this kind of music, but just that sound.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, it actually does make sense. Okay, I just wanted to ask that one, but can we go back to the project, man?
Oh yeah, sure.
So what's your favorite song
on the project?
Ooh. Yeah, your favorite track.
It's hard. Not just because it's our music, but not just because it's our music, but I mean, there's different elements. You know, there's every song makes you feel something different. You know, so it's not monotonous. So I can't really. I think it depends on the mood, right?
Yeah.
So this would be my favorite song for this mood. This would be my favorite song for this mood, or whatever I'm going through for this time. You know.
Because we even had this challenge where like we send people like snippets of the songs and be like, okay, which one is your favorite?
Yeah, I actually saw that challenge.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was so hard for people to choose, because this way we got like super alternative, like Beyond Vito. You know what I mean? That's like Danish
type vibes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then coming down to where Tulani Zama is singing on some Java level. You know, and then there's like
Keisha on top of that.
You know what I mean? I'm Not Okay, which is like on some like Juice WRLD type of thing.
Then Hamid Kobe, which is like really gritty type.
Yeah, you know? So I think it's just something for everybody. But it's not like we wanted to make it like that. It's just different fragments of what Trallavelle is. As I said, like we've traveled. I mean, we've been to different places, been with different people, got into different situations. You know what I mean? And I think those are fragments that actually created. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that's something that could be there for, like, it's something for everyone.
And sure. with all this traveling, actually touring comes with pressure. I was a touring sound engineer for some time, and people don't really understand. They don't quite understand the hustle that's there when people are touring and traveling and stuff like that. So how do you remain grounded? Because I see you're a bit laid back. You're not even stressed. I mean, you're chilled. And how do you stay grounded with all the pressure that comes with traveling around doing all those tours?
For me, basically prayer, really. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, fundamentally, that's one thing I can say it is.
Yeah, and I think also purpose, you know, knowing what you're doing it for. Because I feel like if you're doing it just because you're doing it, it's almost like a whirlwind and you just got to get lost. But if you know the purpose is never ending, you know what I mean? So I think once you reach this step, you feel like, okay, cool, there's more that I can do. You know what I mean?
And you're not grounded, yeah.
Yeah, and then I think it automatically it just humbles you and you start understanding, different perspectives of why you're doing this and why you want to do it and why you want to take it all the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so I understand that you express your experiences through music.
Weird.
What's that one thing? I'll start with you this time. What's that one thing that you really, or maybe let this question go to you, but it goes out to you, to both of you.
Okay.
There is a lot of truth in what you rap about.
Yeah.
So my question is, what's that one thing you became vulnerable of, and you didn't even bother while talking about it? But I mean, it's something that you were supposed to keep private, but
Sure.
you ended up expressing it. You know, be it heartbreak, be it those type of experiences that you can't really share with anybody, but you did it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, I think it was just like the battle with depression. You know what I mean? Because it's something that people just don't speak about generally. So there's something where it's like, I was thinking about it. I'm like, if like, I'd rather say something that nobody else will say, or something that I'll be ashamed to say it. But once it's out there, it's almost like freeing. You know what I mean? Because there's 7 billion people in the world, and then 10% of that is like, what, 700 million or something. And then somebody's going to relate to something from there, and they're going to take something from that. You know what I mean? Because they're going through the exact same thing that you're going through. So I think, that it is. That's what it is.
Hence you're so much focused on the mental health.
For sure.
With your movement.
Yeah.
So basically the movement it's something that came out of vulnerability.
100%.
100%. Because we also started this whole the whole concept. We actually started with a dear friend of ours who committed suicide just
in
March. Ebenezer Dibakwane, the comedian, you know.
Yo,
and
man, so rest in
bro,
peace,
and
crazy part, it's like all over the news, and you know what I mean. So it doesn't give you a proper time to mourn.
Yeah.
You know, because it was a public figure and stuff like that. So yeah, it was very tricky. You know, still is, but yeah.
No, man. You know, especially, I'm not trying to choose sides, but especially as men, we should accept that these things do happen.
100%.
We do go through stuff. Mental health issues are really something. It is really something that we really need to pay attention to.
100%.
Because
100%.
I mean, I understand that as men sometimes we might try to hide our feelings, and people tell us that, you know, you better be a man, you gotta be a man, you know, be strong and all that. But I mean, shout out to you guys for the campaign, man.
Shout out, brother.
You know,
shout out.
it's very vital and pivotal. You know, like the economy is not as pleasing right now. So it's a very important campaign also for the ladies. You know, ladies are going through the most.
100%.
You hear the cases of single mothers, you know, they just left with kids, they can't fend for them, and the fathers are nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
You know, so it is one big campaign. So if today you were to leave the industry or maybe to depart from this world, how would you want people to perceive your mission through music and your campaigns?
Yeah, that's a deep one. That's a deep one.
Yeah.
How would you want to be remembered? Okay, well, let me just say, how do you want people to receive your message? What's the criteria? What's the approach when
I think
accepting
they should just receive it with love, man, and spread love.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing. Spread love, spread positivity. You know.
Yeah, just leave
each other.
Yeah, just leave us a different type of perspective within this world, within for the new generation. You know, like make it less toxic. You know, make the world less toxic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's so brilliant, man. You know, it's very rare to actually come across twins with very similar way of
Sentiments,
similar sentiments.
Sure.
And do you have any advice for other upcoming artists? I understand that you definitely have got better experience, way better than other upcoming artists, and I understand you have been at that position where you were like thinking to yourself, how am I going to start getting gigs? How am I going to start getting booked? I mean, what do you want to say to them?
Basically, just start. Just start every small.
Actually, in the studio, I've got some people who are suffering from starting. Yo, did you just hear that? Yo, niggas gotta start something, man. That's deep. Actually, I always tell these guys that the best way to start is to start.
Yeah.
And you came in and say the same thing.
Shout out.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure we were somewhere related spiritually.
Yeah,
100%.
Some deep stuff, man. So where can we find you on social media?
Facebook, Instagram. The TikTok thing. Not that I want to get
We're
TikTok.
still thinking about getting TikTok.
But also,
you jump on TikTok. Okay, can you give me quickly? Can you give me your perspective on TikTok and why you're delaying to have that account?
I think for me personally, I have nothing against it. I think it's a brilliant, beautiful platform. I just feel just for our mission. That's what I'm thinking. With you, I might just jump on it or not. But I feel like just for our mission, I feel like people need to just be able to just listen to us.
Yeah, instead of
just
the scroll culture,
Yeah, I think that's the thing.
Scroll culture, bro.
Because I was having a conversation with Shakes Makado just before the last show that we did. So he's a co-founder of the Ricky Rick Foundation. So he's like, we're at Joanna's, I think 2 weeks ago. He's like, people get dying because of relevance, He was with Freaky and then he took a picture of people taking a picture of them, a video of them at a show, and he's like, most of the people are just on their phones to be like they are here, so that other people can see that they are here. You know what I mean? But they did not enjoy anything. When they look back, they're like, oh snap! I didn't even enjoy the show because I was really on my phone thinking about who's watching me, watch him.
Deep,
you know what I mean? So I think for me, for us, it's just basically. I don't want to be too entertaining. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to be too entertaining. I want everything to
purpose. But it's something that's on the cards. You can still thinking about it. And
okay. Before we actually forget, you said what are your social handles? The Trallavelle twins?
Yeah. TRLVL
_twins
on Instagram and everything. So I think the best thing is just to go on Google, just Trallavelle twins. Everything just pops up from there. The YouTube, everything just pops up from there.
All right, no, that's perfect, man. Any final remarks before we let you go? I understand you've got something to do.
Shout out.
Thank you guys for having us.
Yeah,
and
definitely
appreciate the platform. It was a beautiful conversation. Should definitely have it again.
Yeah, definitely.
Shout out. Basically, thank you guys for like the energy, you know what I mean? And that just the whole energy of being here and just having to have this conversation, you know what I mean, freely as so, and just giving these people something to listen to and just giving them content and just.
And you know what I want to say to the people around Jamestown, this is something from home,
Shout out.
You really need to support these. I wanted to say niggas, but anyway, all rappers.
We ain't mad at that.
It takes a village to actually raise a child. And, I mean, charity begins at home.
100%.
So I expect everybody who is in Jamestown, man, like no matter what you do, you gotta support this talent. I mean, they're the hottest thing in Gauteng right now.
I appreciate it.
Right now.
Oh yeah,
I didn't want to say South Africa because I haven't been to the Eastern Cape, and but I would love to believe that from Gauteng, from Jamestown, it's gonna be Jersey, Gauteng, from Gauteng. South Africa, Africa, and the rest of the world.
Shout out.
And
I also want to I also wanted to shout out before I forget. I want to shout out with my boys at Koilas, Sasti on his last music video. Kakapani. So
Yeah.
just shout out for that culture as well. You know, I just wanted to just shout out. You know,
And
For real,
Jesus
man.
is love, man. Jesus is love. Yo,
Yeah, so we do have people who would want to support you as well. How best can they reach out to you for the support that they would be intending to give you? Yeah.
we got an email address. It's tralavellece@gmail.com. So I feel like it's easier when people inquire on that. You know what I mean? Because like that's when you're gonna definitely be like, okay, this person is really serious and is reaching out. You know what I mean?
On a formal
Note. And but even people are hitting us up on like all social media platforms. It's still love, you know. But I feel like with email on that tip, it's gonna be like, okay, you're really trying to reach out for whatever we're trying to push together. You know what I mean? But shout out for everyone showing us love.
All right, before I forget also, when is your next show? I mean, I definitely want to be
Shout
part of
out.
it. Yeah.
Shout out, shout out, shout out, shout
We had
out.
a show. We had a the last show we had was on the
Last week.
28th. With
Last week Saturday.
last week Saturday. The Yellow World. So it was in Bramfontein. So we're having
At
another Yellow
Cheekies.
World. We're just conceptualizing it. Having a meeting, I think tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be huge.
Yeah, it's
This
gonna
is
be
gonna be
huge.
much bigger than the last one. And then you can catch us out at what you call One Africa Radio.
Durban July as well. We're doing Durban July this Saturday.
Yeah, man, it's just a lot of things just popping up and just coming together. We're having another music video tomorrow with Pretty Boy Slick. You know,
Sentin,
so yeah, everything is just.
I mean, the
coming
network is
together.
vast. It's
yeah.
growing big.
Yeah, man, and that's a
can't-
beautiful
I
thing,
can't
you
really
know.
wait to see you guys on top there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the Trallavelle twins have been with us, and we are super blessed to have them in the studio, and would really love to hear your thoughts, and would really love to have them once again. And also shout out to Third Letter, to The Rain, and Busy.
Shout out.
You know, these are the people who are behind the scenes right now, and they are also part of the team. We are super blessed to have them in the studio. To our super twins, if I may call you that.
Shout out,
I mean,
shout out.
thank you so much, gentlemen. We really
Thank you
appreciate
guys so much.
All
Thank
right,
you guys so
blessings,
much.
eh?
All right.
Thank you.